Welcome to episode 15 of the Amb Ant Podcast. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Amber.
And today we are talking about Shijou Saikyou no Daimou Murabito A Tensei Suru.
Shijou Saikyou. I cannot even. Shijou Saikyou no Daimou Murabito A ni Tensei Suru. Like, A is like Murabito A, it's like just any kind of ordinary, like, countryside man. But then you're like, what did you say that?
Murabito A ni Tensei Suru.
Yes, no, okay. Otherwise known as?
The greatest demon lord is reborn as a typical nobody.
Yeah, they translated Murabito A into typical nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
You know, the Japanese.
I don't know the Japanese, sadly.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please.
Yes.
For more podcast reviews like these.
Thank you for your mercy. Like us.
I don't know.
What is it about?
We should probably say it at the end, too. I feel like.
Okay, what is it about?
This one was about the greatest demon lord who is reborn as a typical nobody.
Exactly. This plot sucks. Okay, I know that he loves Isekai.
So racist.
Oh my god, how can you say that? Oh my god, Isekai. Like, I was gonna say, like, oh, I love it and hate it, but no, I just hate it. I cannot bring myself to find any positive emotion with it.
Wait, this one's... Oh, yeah, I mean, isn't it Isekai?
Well, not really Isekai.
It's a transmigration.
Well, I would say it's like Tensei, meaning like...
Oh, no,
reborn.
It's just it's just reincarnation.
Yeah,
no, it's not Isekai. It's not
reincarnation.
Isekai.
Sorry,
yeah, it's not transmigration either, so...
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a reincarnation. So you hate reincarnation stories.
Both. Isekai and reincarnation stories.
What else do you hate in puppies?
Oh my god! You're trying to make people hate me. You're turning the people against me. No, it's just like the story is so generic. I don't even know how to, I guess, describe the plot without just sounding like any other Tensei kind of story. So yeah. What did you think about it?
I thought this one was great. So at first, the first episode we watched, I was kind of like, it's pretty generic. It's not really doing too much. I feel like, it kind of introduced a lot of characters, information dump, kind of, and then he just kind of met one of the girls. I'm like, she's not that interesting. Okay. Then I kind of got into it episode 2. So we watched 3 episodes of it total. Mainly, I like the whole idea of him kind of being, I would say it's kind of a, I don't know, like he's in the world, but it's completely different. So it's kind of like he isekai'd as a, like, very strong protagonist into a new world, basically, because he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know the norms anymore. He doesn't know the newer, I guess, spells anymore. So it's a little interesting. It reminds me a lot of the Misfit of Demon Academy, the 2021. So that one is this one is basically almost a carbon copy of that one.
Exactly. Why would he still think it's good? I'm so confused.
Well,
okay, I've never
you can do good stuff, right?
I've never even heard of the other one that you're saying is like being copied.
Yeah. And
this already seems like everything else. Like, actually, I found so many similarities between this and like Mushoku Tensei. It's like, it's not even like a carbon copy of that. It's actually quite different. But then like the plot points and how like the main character gets like the liking of the females, like the white-haired girl who, like, I don't even know her name, like, is so similar to like Rudy's relationship with Erisu, right? Like the red-haired little girl in the other show. And then it's like, yeah, she's a tsundere, right? And then it's like, oh, how can I even interact with her? I wonder. And then it's like, oh, danger! Shit happens. Like, oh, she's about to get raped, basically. Sorry. And then
Oh, okay.
it's literally like that with like goblins.
Yeah, that's right.
It was so like reminiscent of like old, not even old hentai, just like hentai manga in general.
Yeah.
Ecchi. But
No, it's just, I guess, entertaining. It was
oh
really
god,
fun.
I'm just so confused. I just feel like it's really problematic.
Why is it problematic?
Well, now comes my theory about isekai slash like tensei and like incels.
And transmigration.
No, I don't really know what transmigration means.
Well,
but it's like tensei,
it's just when,
right?
sort of.
This is
It's where you have basically you have a character and you place it in a different setting.
Okay, sure. Like, I just don't really know what that
Any
means.
sort of that you don't like.
I think so,
Okay.
unless it's, like, written well. Because, like, again, I feel like the generic storyline of, like, this person who is misunderstood, who doesn't really know how to interact with his environment, and he's just like, oh, I must sound as gentleman as possible. I'm so annoyed of how these main characters speak as well. It's like, oh yeah, they look quote unquote generic and they speak in the most formal tone they can at all times. And it's like, oh my god, it sounds like they're speaking in textbook tone. And then also it's just like, oh, I cannot understand, therefore I must find a logical, like, I don't know, way to interact with these people. And then it kind of reminds me of, like, the kind of discourse of, like, when I hear about, like, incel culture, it's like, oh, femoids. We don't understand these, like, human-like whammons kind of thing. And then it's, like, that whole feeling, like, oh, I'm actually really strong, right? He's actually the Demon King, but then people don't know. And then it kind of just makes me feel like the people who would like this kind of media is just like people who are kind of sad, lonely, wants to be understood, wants friends. And then it's like, oh yeah, just give me an opportunity to shine my talents, and then I'll prove to be so special. And then it's like, oh my god, this just exudes that energy.
So I guess so, but at the same time, like, I don't think that's what it is, right? Like, because in the show, if you forget all the other shows, you just watch this one, that's not what happens, right?
No, I feel like it basically... Oh, I took so many notes on this.
Yeah, you took notes.
Yeah, I took notes on this, guys.
Right. So if we just look at this one, he kind of revives after a long time. We don't know how long.
But not that long, because, like, there are, like, people like
Shirei,
people, like, knew him.
No. Those guys, like, they're basically immortal. So it could be however long.
True.
So yeah. It's just the synopsis is just he was the strongest, and he wanted to kind of make life more interesting, right? Because I've come to enjoy this kind of I guess trope or like plot point, which is basically you have this really strong character, but he wants to enjoy things a little bit more, so he restarts from the beginning. I was actually I'm really into like RPG and all that, right? So I've actually written a book as well.
Yes, we should put that link somewhere.
Honestly, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I plan on continuing at some point.
Cool.
But it's just I'm really into that kind of thing. So it's like you have a very strong character who is just bored, and you can just imagine like a very omniscient character, right? Like kind of godly, who just wants something different, right? And then you just follow him along that story, right? So he reincarnates, and then he like becomes, he like thinks that he's going to be like, he calibrates his magical strength to be average, right? But he didn't know the future, in that like the future was so weak.
You guys are so weak.
Right, exactly. So
really?
So right. So then when they're doing like the like when they're fighting, like in episode 3, he's just like, wait, like you're casting these
2 spells at once.
Like the no. The guy who was dueling him, right? Like what was his name?
Oh yeah, he was calling the.
Yeah.
He was calling his like thing,
Yeah.
like the Giga something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was just
he called it like whatever like magical power, but then he used a giga as a prefix to it,
right?
And then he was like, no, that's not the giga.
It's just a normal spell.
That's just a normal version of that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, let me show you what a giga something is, and it's like, oh, boom, and then everyone's like, oh my god, how can he do that? Not only that, he used 2 spells at once. Oh my god, that's the forgotten technique.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty cool. I like that.
Kill me now.
Well, it's just like a mystery of like how did everything get so how did everyone become so weak? You know?
Oh well, if it's a mystery, I would be interested. However, it feels like a harem right now, so then I'm just like.
That's one element, but yeah, I mean, some people like harems, some people don't. I don't really write in harems or anything. I tried, but
You wanted to, right?
I want to, but it's hard because like I don't know anything about how to make that happen, and it just feels a little awkward sometimes.
It's just, I just don't like stories like this. It's like, again, like I don't really enjoy the whole thing about just like, oh yeah, I must hide my powers. No, like. There is a work that has done basically what you said, but better. I feel like One Punch Man is like, he is so good.
Right, but I mean, just because I think one like work is, I guess, what you deem as better doesn't mean like other works can't really exist, right?
Well, to me, so, it is like better, but again, this is like my subjective view of the thing.
Right, I'm just saying like you kind of want to put an end to like you want there to not be that much isekai, right? But the thing is, like, if the free market demands isekai, there must be something you're missing, like that, like.
Oh well, I don't think that's it.
No,
I truly do think that it's just hikikomori and incel culture is more, and people are feeling more and more lonely, and at the same time feeling like they're special and entitled for attention, and that's why isekai is like getting more traction.
Well, could it be that this form of anime, like video game culture / like I don't know about inceldom, but I know it has a lot more of like video game elements in it usually, so like could it be that like
hikikomori, because I feel like incel, it has so much like connotation, and I don't want to
so I wouldn't know about any of that. I would just know about the lit RPG scene, so like even for that scene, like lit RPG, right? Books about video games that later get adapted into movies, such as Ready Player One, they have evolved as well. So like, it's just the evolving of media, right? Because like in the past, you literally couldn't write anything about VR MMO because it was so far removed. It was so far removed from human understanding. I think the closest was like. What is it, Ender's Game or something, like where you can play a video game and then like you're actually directing like spaceships in an alien war, right? But it like has you playing a video game, right? Like kids playing the video game just because they were like really fast with reflexes when you're like a kid, you can get trained really early. I mean, it kind of made sense a little bit, but that was sort of like game-like simulations that kind of were science fiction back then. These days we actually have like way better technology, so we can kind of imagine where things will go. So then I feel like the whole RPG scene is like it's going to be like more normalized. It already has been.
I mean, like, I don't really know anything about lit RPG, and I don't really want to just say no to a genre, because to me, like, I actually like ReZero, and then I don't feel like I had that big of a problem with No Game, No Life either, but with a lot of, like, more generic ones, I do have more problems with, because, first of all, I feel like the setting is very, like, there is no creativity in it. I was writing in my notes how it just basically looks like, with the elves and, like, the goblins and the dwarves, and then it's kind of like the monsters that anyone could think of, and then it's like medieval, like, kind of European setting, but at the same time you add the kind of...
You add magic.
Not just that.
Oh, okay.
Well, like, magic, obviously, because, like, elves and whatnot, but then it's also, you add the kind of, like, elite Japanese school uniform and kind of like that kind of culture into that world, and then I just feel like, oh my god, these are just like very generic elements that you're just like merging together. And then like even the was it like a minotaur that they fought, it was just like the character design was just
No, I think I
Like,
get it.
yeah, it's just not creative. I do want to say...
So you're saying that, like, because the anime is kind of merging a lot of different elements from a lot of different works.
Yeah, without actually using, like, creative design. Like, you can merge these elements in a better way. Definitely. I do believe so. And even the character designs, they just look so generic. Like, honestly, Anthony didn't even remember the title of this show. And I feel like that is very telling. Because, like... Every season nowadays, there are so many isekai series that are very similar.
In my defense, Shijou Saikyou no Daimou Murabito.
Okay, you didn't call that. You just called it whatever, like, the English name, the greatest something. I don't remember the English name. But like, I just remember the Murabito A. And then, it's just like, it's so generic. And then the main character... Like, you can tell a lot of things by the form. It's like form is function kind of feeling. It's like, oh yeah, the kind of normal looking dude that the audience can use as a self-insert. And the really, like, quirky and flamboyantly designed girls who get attracted to this seemingly like nobody. And then, like, for me, when I watch things like this, I can't really just feel as an immersive experience. I automatically turn on the, like, why are they doing this like this? Why do they look like this? What kind of design elements are they trying to employ here? And I'm just like, oh, this is so just like commodity rather than like art.
Yeah, so I think if you're trying to tie it into, I guess, everything else that kind of looks like it, I feel like it's somewhat of an unfair comparison since, like, so here's an example, right? Like, when I wrote my book, right, I didn't, like, look to all the other lit RPGs being written and all the other evolution stories being written. I just wrote it. However, my book very suspiciously looks like another anime that came out, and it's like, I don't know... You know,
but like, I have to say that one is super
very
strange.
Suspicious.
Yeah,
right?
well, I don't want it. It might not be anything, but like, it's so niche that it is strange.
It's not niche.
Oh, really?
Right. So that's the issue, right? Is that, like, I didn't know that he was writing it during the time that I was writing it, and, like, it's unfair to blame, like, it's unfair to call my book, like, super generic because, like, the other work. It's
not generic.
Well. You don't know how generic it is.
Okay, true.
Right.
But then, like, for this, it is super generic. And you have to understand that this is, like, the creative, like, team behind this isn't just, like, when you're writing it, and then it's, like, you, one person. Like, the character design... Well, I know. I mean, like, character design, like, they wouldn't be able to, like, draw it. I'm talking about the aesthetics of it.
Well, in the light novel, like, maybe they have, like...
Well, yeah, there are illustrations sometimes, but I'm just saying, it's like,
same with
it's not, but it's not just like one person is behind all this. It's like, just, there's so many things.
I would argue that one person is behind the light novel.
No, I'm not talking about the light novel. I'm talking about the aesthetic elements of it. It's like, what kind of castle are they, like, living in? What kind of, like, design not Wolverine, sorry, Minotaur person it, like, looks like there's so many things of that. It's just, like, not interesting to look at. And then, like, the focus is on the girls and how cute they are and, like, how they interact with the main character in a, like, quirky way, kind of.
Right, so, yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. It's...
Yeah, I would like... I am a sucker for, like, good, like, battle scenes and, like, fighting choreography. Like, you have to understand, I am one of those people. I'm a shonen, like... stupid head, right? And then it's like, I don't feel like that because I just feel like, oh, everything looks really generic, like, visually. And then, like, even the fighting style is very lazily done, but the animation quality is actually very good. That's why I'm just like, well, how should I even feel about this? I don't know how I feel about it.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know how... I mean, I just enjoy the, I guess... story, and then I enjoy the animation. It's pretty good. Yeah, but I mean, back to the point about, like, how I guess things can be generic. It's like I wasn't aware of, like, other stories, I guess, similar to mine. Like, I mean, I guess one of my inspirations was Monster. So it's like a this is a way back story. I don't know if anybody knows it, but like you get a goblin. I think a dude that reincarnates into a goblin, or you just get a goblin that like knows how to evolve. So then he eats things and then like evolves. It's a pretty cool story. I don't know if it finished yet, but that was sort of one of the like ones that I kind of had inspiration from. So maybe that you could say that.
Yeah.
You know, but like saying mine is generic. I guess you can say that nowadays, but like back then, I feel like it wasn't that generic, which is why it got so popular.
First of all, I'm not talking about your work at all.
I know.
I'm very sorry, but I've never.
But I'm just saying. I know, but I'm just saying, right? Like you're saying that this one is generic
because I've seen a lot.
Right. However,
you're saying that your book isn't generic, but then I haven't read it.
Right. No. Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand it, but then I just don't feel like it is a good example to...
It's not a good example.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so... Right, so like, what if there was like... There's now like 100 like different evolution stories, right? Mm-mm. Like, there's now so many.
Yes.
Because it's so popular.
Yeah.
Does that make my original, like, kind of... I guess, just flavorless? Like, oh, it's just like all the rest, like...
No, because you came before that.
Yeah, so that's...
And also, I still want to say you can do it well. I don't think that, like, my history with anime and manga is very long. And so, like, I've watched a lot of, like, random, like, harem shows. Like, even as a girl, like, I watched a shit ton of, like, guy-center, like, harem shows. And then there are interesting ones, and then less interesting ones. I do have to say, like, because of the chronological order, my perception of it definitely changes, because it's like, oh, I saw this first, and then the next time I see something similar, I would just be like, oh, it's automatically less interesting. But then I still do think, like, at least, like, from the first 3 episodes, I'm not, like, just completely saying, like, oh, this will definitely be garbage. Like, if it does focus on the mystery element of how this world became, like, so much weaker than it was before, like, I'm definitely down for that. Like, I'm interested in that kind of, like, One Piece, like the 800 years of, like, blank history kind of thing. But then, like...
it wasn't 800 years. It was 100 years. It was 100. The Void Century.
Sorry, Void Century. Excuse me.
Alright.
Yes. I'm incorrect, and I'm sorry. As like a One Piece fan, how can I say that? Okay, yes. Yeah. The Void Century. But yes.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I'm very interested in, like, mystery things, and, like, that's also what kind of, like, pushed me into liking, Promised Neverland in the beginning. But then, like, to me, I feel like right now, the system seems so, like, established and generic that I don't see it going in that direction.
Yeah.
But I could be completely...
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm down to, like, continue watching it. But right now, like, my rating wouldn't be high, because other than the animation and the consistency in character, like, drawing is actually impressive to me. I'm just, like, I'm actually surprised. But yeah, other than that, I don't see anything good going for it yet.
Right, so I guess maybe you're coming at it from a perspective of like, oh, you've seen people talk about it before, like saying that like, oh, isekai is so generic and stuff. So
that's just not true. First of all, I did watch like a lot of old isekai. Like, if people know like what Meru is, oh my god, whoever in the early 2000s. You are my friend automatically. It's like, I've watched a lot of random isekai things, and I don't really hear people saying that isekai is generic. Like, one of my favorite anime YouTubers, like Giguk, he's so into isekai, and it bothers me because I don't like isekai. And then, like, every time he talks about it, I'm just like, I completely disagree. But it's okay. For me, it's more like, after a while, I just feel like it's not just that it's generic, but I do think that, first of all, it's problematic in the way that people have this urge to hide away from, like, real life kind of thing. But I also understand, like, escapism doesn't necessarily mean that there's, like, a, like, more insidious intention in there. And then the other thing is just, like, aesthetically, it gets more and more generic throughout the years. And I'm just like, oh my god, where are the good character designers? And, like, I don't know, cool world building, like visual elements in it. I don't see it yet.
Oh, also, this isn't even isekai, so...
No. Okay, sorry. Tensei, whatever.
Yeah. This is a reincarnation.
Reincarnation.
I really like the reincarnation aspect of things. I feel like it's just a lot of fun. You know, you get like, you just see a lot of like cool things, like from like, if you were able to do your life right from the beginning, like what would your life be like? You know, it's just like,
I feel
that's
like
some
that,
good stuff. Right
first
there.
of all, I feel like that is why I'm just like, oh my god, you're good now kind of thing.
Oh.
But also I want to say, like, reincarnation stories, I was super into it for like Chinese Xinxia, like when I was younger.
Great.
Like, if again anyone
Great.
knows 仙剑奇侠传, oh, like,
Wait, what is that?
仙剑奇侠传is like one of the OG. It was like a game first, and then it became like
Against the Gods?
No, I don't know what it's
Oh.
called in English.
No,
I cannot English. And then
Can we look it up real quick?
Sure, go for it.
Like what?
仙剑
Xianjian.
Yeah, the first
Oh,
one.
Chinese paladin.
Yeah.
You know what? Wasn't this?
It's a game, and then it became a TV show. It became 2 series, and
my
then like
God.
there are like all sorts of like
Wait,
reincarnations.
was this really really popular
The
before?
super popular?
Yeah, I think I played this video game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like when
honestly,
I was younger, like this was like the only video game that I actually like went and like downloaded to like play.
Yeah, it was like
But,
super. Was
yeah.
it super big open world kind of thing?
I think so.
Yeah, MMORPG. Yeah,
I don't know what
it's
an
great.
MMORPG
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
is.
you just
But yeah, it is a super open world, and then you
Yeah.
can like walk around.
yeah,
and
and then
like,
you
do stuff.
follow your character around it, like
Yeah,
fight
and
stuff,
they have
fight
stories.
monsters.
Yeah.
It's great, man. Yeah, I played that game too.
Yeah, but
No.
the thing is, like the reincarnation for that, I feel like it was really well written. Like, it wasn't like the people are so disappointed in their previous life that they have to do it right in this life, or like, you know, like
Well, this
in
one
this
isn't
one,
as
yeah,
well,
in this
right?
one it's more like, oh, now I'll live like a more like hermit like lifestyle.
Yeah,
because,
he's
like,
just bored of like life, so then he like I really like that trope where like you reach the end of cultivation and you want to start anew. It's great. Like it's just cultivation, right? It's like it's so good.
if you want to put it that way, go for it. But like,
Yeah.
to me, I'm just saying, like, I am not just because of the trope I don't like it kind of person.
Right.
Because there are still like, even like nowadays, some of the light novels, like Chinese light novels, I do like a lot. And then like there are a lot of reincarnation things.
Yeah,
right?
dude, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like for this one, I just feel like I don't like how he speaks in formal speech. I don't like how the other main girls are just like, oh, quirky, but like plain. And then even the queen, how she talks, first of all, she was just like, oh, I want to like be impregnated. And then also it's just like she speaks with the no after every like sentence kind of thing. It's like, it is just how the characters are written are like, oh yeah, all the royalties always speak with no at the end. It's like a stereotype, and then it's like every character is written in that stereotype, and I don't like that.
Sure. Yeah, you know what? I actually don't really like
She was like, so no.
Yeah, so out of like most of the Japanese I guess reincarnation stories that I've read, I mean, I'm a big light novel reader, manga reader, right? I'm not really too much into anime. I feel like it's slow.
Oh, I think I'm a bigger manga reader than he is.
Yeah, but I hit the light novels.
Yeah, you are definitely way more.
So it's just like, yeah, I hit the books basically. It's just like, oh, the books are so good. I typically
when
like
I
to
read books, I just read literature.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the Japanese stuff is like very, yeah, I mean, it's very curated towards something. It's not really the Wild West anymore. It's more of like, yeah, it's more commoditized. But like, that just gives us more, right? Like, we get more of these like cool stories. Like, I really like reincarnation. I want more of it. So here's another one. Sure, I'll take it, right? And then same with like any. I wonder is when are they gonna do more Korean stuff, because like the Korean reincarnation stories are actually really well.
What about the Chinese reincarnation stories?
Oh,
they're actually really good too.
They're really good too. Yeah. So like I honestly like, if there is a way for that to happen, I'd be down to you know.
We should all work towards like making that happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, same with like American, you know, there's the RPG scene. It's like the entire like game literature scene. There's, you know, it'll probably happen, but it's already started happening. But it's just where is that? You know, we need more of that.
But it is happening. I feel like definitely.
Yeah, it is happening.
And then I do think that as like the quantity of the works like kind of increase as well, like with the popularity, the quality will definitely, because of competition, it will like just become better automatically.
Exactly.
But then like at this point, I just feel like this is like the awkward stage where like the quantity is like growing like rapidly, but I just feel like, oh my god, the quality, it's like for this, I can see the good parts of it, right? It's like I see like, oh, the character, like the drawing, like the 2D animation is very consistent, and like honestly, it's been pretty smooth so far, like for all of the like choreography. But then it's like, oh, it just needs like more spark in it, and then I just don't feel like I'm getting that. Yeah,
I mean, I'd be down to watch more reincarnation stuff. I wish there were more, because like the last one, Misfit of Demons.
Do you want to do Model Zushi? Okay.
That one was great, and then I mean, I don't know about that one.
It's okay.
But yeah, like I wish there were just more reincarnation anime. It's just
reincarnation plus BL, the perfect match in heaven.
Yeah. So
yes, how would you rate the first 3 episodes, even though it's quite short?
I'd give it a solid 7.5. Maybe, yeah. Okay. I enjoyed it. It was good. Would definitely do again. So it's not too bad.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Need more isekai, need more reincarnation, need more transmigration, need more zombie apocalypse.
I will say I need better all of those rather than more. Yeah. Like I feel like now the market is just with more. Yeah. Every season there are too many. But like, we can do better than this, guys.
What do you mean there's too many, right? This is the only one, no?
No.
Reincarnation,
I don't know.
I mean, there's that, like, your boy Coming, yeah, maybe?
Yeah, that is also reincarnation. Kind of.
Guess, yeah.
Kind of, because like he died. I'm pretty sure
that counts as a transmigration.
I feel like just both. Because it's like he did die in the past life, and then he was like full of regret. And then he woke up again after he died. Yeah. And then he found himself at like Shibuya Halloween party.
Yeah, so after you die, you go into another body.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, maybe isekai is transmigration then?
I don't even know. Isekai just means a different world.
Oh, no, not necessarily, because you can just get transported into another world. Yes, it's not exactly.
Oh my
transmigration,
god.
You have to die.
He's so nerdy. No, oh my god, he's so nerdy.
You're nerdy.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
You're just like, oh, my taste is so much clearer than yours.
My taste is exquisite. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's about it. Talked for like 32 minutes.
Yes.
Anything else?
No. Well, oh my god, I was just dreading that. I was like, just don't ask me, man. Considering the animation, honestly, I will still give it like a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. The points are all technical points.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, like, if you want to keep on watching it, I will watch it with you. And I will force Berserk on you. Yes. So goodbye.
See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.